Únete a Maxi Baloncesto 2023, porque tu pasión por el deporte sigue esperando por tu próxima anotación. Campeonato Nacional de Maxi Baloncesto 2023. Del 16 al 20 de noviembre de 2023, en Celaya, Guanajuato. Inscríbete en codegto.gov.mx.
Evento oficial avalado por FINBA México.
CODE, Gobierno del Estado, Grandeza de México.
Sabemos de qué están hechos nuestros atletas y sabemos que van a darlo todo en los Panamericanos. Vamos a llevar a México a lo más alto en Santiago de Chile, porque México en Santiago está bacano. Pasión por el deporte. Comisión de Deporte del Estado de Guanajuato. Gobierno del Estado.
Have you ever dreamt of competing at your dream show with your dream horse? Thanks to Carol Cox Leasing, that dream is closer than you think. The ultimate show jumping experience. Every detail tailored specifically to you, ensuring maximum comfort and flexibility.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. Delighted to welcome you to day 2, the first week of the 2 weeks that comprise the Mexico Full Tour. The Club Hípico Otomi, our superb hosts here, and not ghosts, certainly, our wonderful hosts, and they've been far from ghosts. They are ever present and putting on some wonderful hospitality for us. We are 300 kilometers up to the northwest of Mexico City. The Guanajuato region is our base, and this is our start list. 34 combinations it is that come forward. It's a very generous 585,000 Mexican peso prize purse tonight, and 30,000 euro is the equivalent. Great to welcome you to San Miguel de Allende, and this is a special two-phase competition, and the track's designed by a superb German design pair. And Germany have had a super week because that man, middle of your picture, has been in legendary form. Richard Vogel won both the 5-star classes yesterday. German Blue, his ride today, was the first winner for Richard. And the world number 16 was quite dazzling to win last night.
40 segundos la primera fase y 42 segundos la...
That was impressive with his wonderful soprano Balube. He won by 0.2 of a second from Emanuela Camilli, who was very impressive. Odense Erdeveld, his ride from Milan's Europeans, was second. And the home nations, Manuel Gonzalez, came in third. That was with Martialis. But this is our start list, ladies and gentlemen, for today's 5-star confrontation. Vigor Carter looked very good yesterday in the opening class with Lucas Porter, young gun for America. There are 6 for the USA. And Gregory Watherley, that pair really caught my eye again in the opening 5-star yesterday. Jumped an immaculate clear round. Chattanooga looked very good as well under the Sydney Olympian, Santiago Lambra. He'll start middle of the draw for Brazil, number 20. Goodbye had one down yesterday with Bliss Hears, but that little gallop up looks very quick should Bliss chance her arm in the second phase. Dermot Lennon was the world champion in 2002. That was in Jerez de la Frontera in Spain, but the man in red-hot form, bidding for his 6th win in 2 weeks here in Mexico, is the world number 16, Richard Fogel. He'll start with his young talent, Je Bon Bleu, and Rupert Karl Winkelmann. He'll be number 33 for Germany in this 5-star 1m45 TV4 prize. At the end of the draw, that's a very nice horse. Chaco's Airman with Nicolas Pizarro will certainly be one that will fly the home flag. Home nation looking for its first 5-star win, of course. It's been a German-dominated event so far here in San Miguel. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the scene. Delighted to welcome you to the heart of Mexico. We're literally the midpoint of this beautiful Central American nation. Welcome everybody to the TV4 Libre 5-star 1m45 class. As I say, 5,000 Mexican peso, the prize purse today. It's about €30,000, and a quarter of that sum will go to the winner. It's about €7,500 to go to our champion. 34 combinations it is that join battle for this world ranking class. And the track set by Frank Rothenberger. It's a German design pair because Frank assisted by Philipp Schwender, his apprentice, learning from the great master of Aachen. What a great job Frank does at the greatest horse show in the world, the Sers Arena in the Aachen Hippodrome. Quite extraordinary courses that Frank builds year on year. The Chio, one of his or his centerpiece, to be accurate. One of the masters, certainly. And a very warm welcome to all of you. This one is a special 2-phase competition. The first phase is fences 1 through to 6, and then comes what is in effect the jump off. It's the second phase, fences 7 through to 13. And Frank Rothenberger has left an option for the combinations. They can choose either the Oxford on the right side or the open water at 12. The water would be a slightly flatter inside line, a flatter serpentine between 11 and 13. The two verticals either side of the option at 12. So that would be an interesting decision for riders that they will have made already, no doubt. And our trailblazer, delighted to welcome the first of the Mexican contingents. Luis Gerardo Castañeda Mercado is underway. This is the 10-year-old mare. She was bred in Argentina. Santa Rosa quality boy is on the early part of the course. I think we'll go for a gelding, actually. Sometimes it's deceptive looking at the lists. There's a variety of symbols used internationally for mares, geldings and stallions, and it can just catch you a little bit unawares. So, of course, if you read the name first, you will probably know. But a couple down for Luis Gerardo. The difference between the special and the traditional 2-phase format is that you can go on into the second phase in a special format, whereas in a normal 2-phase competition you can't. So he took the water option at 12. I think most will do that because it's a flatter, shorter meterage around the course, and shaving off meters will, of course, save seconds. Tough enough start for Luis Gerardo. He has 12 penalties, 37.24 his second phase time. And Santa Rosa Quality Boy comes home.
In the ring, ranking for Mexico, Miguel Marón aboard Cayenne de Bosquillo.
The new starter is a lovely Saint Francais, dark chestnut, and delighted to welcome Miguel Maron Kawagi. This is kind of Boisquillon on the course. 11-year-old, powerfully framed top jumper. Early mistake, sadly, for the Mexican combination. They come down to this early combination. 4A and B, triple bar in, vertical out, and then down over that fairly imposing white and green oxer, straight down the diagonal. Then the rollback turn to the last fence out of the first phase. That is a multicoloured gappy green, white and red and black vertical into the early teeth of the second phase, straight into the Banorte combination. 7A and B vertical to oxer, and then the Aeromexico Oxer at 8 after a tight enough left hand up. Before then, that airy title sponsors, the TV4 vertical, lies awaiting. This will certainly bucket loads of scope. Comes down then to the, again, water option. I think most are going to take that. Of course, if you haven't got a water jumper, you go right-sided to the oxer. It will add meters and seconds to your time. And I think you can just run, of course, flat gallop down to the water, trust your eye to see a good stride, shave off some meters and really carve up some turf on your approach with a quick approach, and I think that will be the champion's line. So, tough enough starts today in this TV4 5-star world ranking class. We wait for our first clear. The new starters, this pair were very good yesterday. They were third in just behind second place Emanuela Camilli and behind, of course, Richard Fogel. That was in the Visa Grand Prix. Yesterday's jump off class. Martialis is on course. This lovely 11-year-old Belgian son of Nabab Derev. Across to Lord Zed. Manuel Gonzalez Dufran in the saddle. This pair have had a lot of wins recently. Puebla here in Mexico, they won 3 classes, including the 2-star Grand Prix mid-June. But yes, the back of that Aeromexico blue-white oxer topples for the world number 175. And this man won that wonderful gold medal individually, Central American Games in Guatemala City in 2017 with Hortensia van der Looijerk. His ride yesterday. So still we wait for our first clear round. Frank Rothenberger, not a man known for pulling punches. He's going to certainly build to the top of his game, which is a pretty mighty game. 4 penalties it was for Manuel Gonzalez Dufran, and Martialis, the home nation, has got a lot of home hopes in this 5-star class.
A la pista número 5 representa a Estados Unidos Verónica Tracy, que monta Thunderbolt B.
Ecuestre, Silver, Mountain, Thunderbird, Thunderball.
The next to come, this lady looked very good yesterday with both this horse and with her Irish horse, Caden Colossary. They're both Irish horses, this one 11 years of age. Monbeg Thunderball B getting underway for Veronica Tracy. This pair, their second week here in Mexico, they were in Coapaxpan a couple of weeks ago. And they travelled transatlantic because they were over in Belgium for both Optibeek and then the Stefex Masters just down near the Zaventem airport to the north of Brussels. The best result came at Optibeek in early August. That was 4th in a 1m35 3-star competition. This horse has just stepped up to 5-star level. This is only his second show at this elite level of world show jumping. Little lucky escape out over that big oxer. But this horse certainly looks well apt for the level because very bold expression and way of going. He is unfazed, certainly. Just runs a little bit deep down into the Banorte combination. But I think Veronica will be delighted with his attitude. Irish horse is known for their laid-back, workmanlike, calm temperaments. They're wonderful, whichever equestrian discipline you're in. Many, of course, top event horses with Irish blood. Very proud of their breeding in Ireland for many reasons. Embedded in their cultural history. And having been an event rider, there are so many horses that come out of the Irish stud book that are wonderful to ride across country. Their attitude, of course, they start so young in Ireland, jumping ditches, banks, all sorts of cross-country obstacles, so that gives them a wonderful disposition that we saw from Monbeg Thunderball B. He's learning his trade at 5-star level, and Veronica Tracy comes home with a good start to their 5-star career, just their second 5-star week.
In the ring number 6, right?
3 for Germany today, and this man has got 2 rides, and the double winner of yesterday's 2 5-stars, Richard Vogel, has got 1. We welcome Rupert Karl Winkelmann. I was a little bit sitting on the fence as to whether it was Winkelmann or Winkelmann yesterday. I cleared it up with my wife, who is German, and it is certainly Winkelmann. And she elucidated a little bit the origin of his surname, and Winkel is a corner. So cornerman would be the translation. So 369 his world ranking, and he is 30 years of age. Has only show jumped to Rupert Karl since 2016, so 7 years at the top of the sport or at any level of international show jumping. So a relative rookie compared to the seasoned campaigners. Amongst our wonderful men and ladies that comprise world show jumping riders. Duvry, his ride out on the course, and they made a very good start. 10-year-old son of the famous stallion Diamonda Semi. Cross to Ramiro B. Sounded like a very good rattle. Just lost the picture. That certainly has gone. I think that's probably the second error that Duvry's had. We await confirmation. Apologies for the lack of a live score. Penalty counts, but certainly 1, if not, I think 2 down for Rupert Karl. He hunts down to the big Otomi water. Lovely close-up view there. The plasticine there on the landing side. They've got to clear that. Hoof will imprint on any part of that yellow strip. The plasticine, and our eagle-eyed judges will be straight over. Hand will go up to signals to the colleagues in the box overlooking the showground that there has been a 4 penalty at the water should it happen. Duvry just the 1 down apparently. It was certainly a heavy rattle which Rupert Karl Winkelmann escaped a second mistake. Early mistake, sadly, at the black and white max spec vertical. Ruben Arrow Yave. Well, number 394 is on course for Colombia. Mekon VOPS. Porsche Rockamola's jet black jumper of origin. The PS suffix Paul's brand on his horses that leave. Kastut-Levitz, bound with the famed bloodlines he employs for big things. This pair had the very good win in Puebla. That was a two-star Grand Prix over 1:45. They won in late September this year, this autumn. Certainly power stacked. Mekon VO runs out over that very Spaciero Mexico Oxa. It's beefy, middle of the track. So still, we wait for somebody to get this 5-star TV4 prize by the scruff and collar. Lovely landing shot and way clear of the open water. Ruben Arroyave heads across the line with just again one fence down, 38.02. And well, the first clear round come from. Certainly interested to see what Nicolas Pizarro does in just a couple of horses' time. That's Mentor, who was placed in the first class yesterday in third place. Looks like a very good grey horse. For a talented Mexican rider, that could be my pick of the first clear round. We'll see. Nine nations come forward to battle for the TV4 5-star here in San Miguel de Allende. 300 kilometers up to the northwest of Mexico City. Right in the heart, the very midpoint of Mexico. Juan Manuel Luzardo. Big Stan has made a very good opening job of things. But that is why that Oxa take-off point was fractionally too far away given its size. That is, of course, not a criticism, but just sometimes you come up to different distances up to fences, not always exactly precise. It's a fluid game, top-class show jumping. Big Stan a little bit hollow in his back out over that wide vertical. Just rather toss his head up in the air, hollowed the back, and then the second mistake comes for the pair for Uruguay. Juan Manuel Luzardo. This only 9-year-old son of Staccato comes down to the final fence, a couple of rails down. 8 penalties it is, 38.34 for Big Stan. And, well, only 9 years of age, so cutting his teeth here at 5-star level around Frank Rothenberger's very serious course here in San Miguel. The next pair to come, we welcome Leobardo Arturo Flores getting started. This pair had a very good win here in San Miguel. That was a 1:40. That was the Banorte Classico back in early May of this year. So they've had a very good season here in San Miguel. They were third as well. That was in mid-March. Another 2-star Grand Prix. That was in Monterrey, up to the north of our base here in San Miguel, northeast of our location here. Muy Muelas La Silla, 16-year-old veteran for Leobardo. It's going very nicely as we wait for our first strong clear round to set the pace. Some big guns will come in quick fire. No, They falter into the Banorte combination. Lovely flowing free stride they see down to the air, and Mexico met that perfectly. This horse has been a wonderful servant, formerly ridden by Fabien Sejan, the Argentinian, who is also here competing this week. Has had a decade internationally. Mui started back in 2013 with Brazil's Carlos Augusto. Miria Cairo as the initial rider. Then to Fabien Sejan before Leopardo took over in the saddle. They come home. They will have one-time penalty as well. 9 is the total for the home pair, Mui Alas La Silla. Great servant. The Sport comes home with 9. So this, the man I was just referring to, as the former rider of the horse we've just seen and enjoyed watching, Mui Alas La Silla. Fabien Sejan comes forward. The 56-year-old Tokyo Olympian. Emir was his ride in the games. Santiago Varela's imposing courses in Japan 3 years ago now. He also had the other very good horse, Harley van der Bishop. Fabien at the Ranking FEI Worlds in Herning in Denmark last year. Harley was campaigned previously by Nicola Philipparts and Bertram Allen before the Argentinian took him to the Worlds last year. But this horse looks really good over fence. It is Cozumel on course. Fabien got underway internationally in 2008 with his career. This horse has got bucket loads of scope here. Cozumel is giving us an air display. This horse hasn't got so much mileage at 5-star level, about a year and a half, so fairly new to the level. But boy, oh boy, he's got bags of scope. This horse has had some very good jockeys on his back prior to Fabien. Jordan Coyle had a spell, and Patricio Pascal. But wow, real air time. Cozumel comes home. Will also have a time penalty. But a pleasure to watch this light bay. Fabien just has to get his stick out down to the water. So it's frustrating in total for Fabien Sejan. 27 penalties, but wonderful still to watch this out-and-out jumper. Plying his trade here in San Miguel de Allende. Really scopy, powerful kind of horse I would love to be sat on. Genuine of type as well. Not their day today here in this TV4 prize, but what an equine athlete to enjoy watching. This, the pair, though, I think could be the ones to take an early lead here in the TV4 5-star on day 2 of week 1 of this Mexico Full Tour. Nicolas Pizarro has had a very good season. His wonderful mare Pia Contra, team bronze with the home nation in the massive Aga Khan Trophy Royal Dublin Horse Show back in the summer. Also, Nicolas part of the Nations Cup team, Steph X Masters in Belgium. And again, that was a very good Team Silver. Mentor makes a great start. This little powerful grey reminds me of Caroline Powell's Lenamore. That's in eventing the New Zealand combination who won Burghley some years ago. A little athlete like Lenamore was. Similar colours as well on his hind legs. It's funny, I can remember that. But Lenamore slightly darkened in his hind legs as well. was a wonderful team horse as well for the New Zealanders. Not dissimilar. And Nicholas Pizarro is doing a good job here. This horse bred here in Mexico. Montebello La Silla across to Cassini. Soars out over the open water. And Nicholas Pizarro is going to post a good clear round. Finally, we break the deadlock of the clear rounds. It's been a bit of a fault fest, the start of this TV4 5-star. That is the opening. Clear round 36.92. The home nation are in front. It was a good third yesterday for Manuel Gonzalez in the big class, the Visa Grand Prix. They would love to improve and strike an early victory here on home turf.
In the ring, riding for Argentina, Jerónimo Jiménez aboard Contest 202.
The next to come, young gun for Argentina, 25 years of age, ward number 573. Jerónimo Jiménez Herrera is on course. He started competing internationally 2012 and 13, his first 2 years, then a break. I'm not sure of the explanation for that until November of 2019. He first competed here back in September of 2020. And this is a very impressive venue for this man because he had his very first Nations Cup here. That was in April of this year with Mesquidam. Jerónimo, based here in Mexico, moved here in 2018 to start his professional show jumping career. Still a young gun at 25 years of age. And I like this horse. Comtesse is going beautifully. Westphalian daughter of Comilfo, Marcus Ennings. Prolific stallion. Jerónimo opens up Comtesse down to this open water. Chasing down the time of Nicholas Pizarro. Is going to be close enough here. Yes, just inside. 36.07, charged his arm down to the water, and that's what it means. 36.07 is the leading time. Goes ahead of Nicholas Pizarro and Mentor, and Argentina are on top of the TV4 prize.
In the ring, riding for Mexico, Carlos Rodolfo Molina aboard Avantuse.
The next pair to come, we go to Mexico and settle down to enjoy Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo, the next to start. And this is Eovantus C, 14-year-old Dutch son of Villalba, across to Zandor. Carlos Rodolfo getting underway, 36.07. A good round from Comtesse and Argentina's, Jerónimo Jiménez Herrera getting underway. Big scopy jump out over the opening fence. And then down away from the in and out gate to the Mex-Bex vertical. That is the little design catch there. Horses will tend to be distracted either towards or away from the in gates where the paddock lies. Their horses, their friends out in the paddock warming up, and they can just lose attention turning away or towards the paddock. So again, a common course design, a trap, a theme to sight fences somewhere near that in gate. But Carlos Rodolfo is well up to the task here of Frank Rothenberger as he just makes a little late adjustment, and a good one, into the Banorte combination. Evantus is hot to get on with the job though, as just shakes his head up into the air down to that yawning area. Mexico Oxa to say to Carlos, come on dad, let's hack on a bit. He's hot under the collar and jumping a beautiful round. Now what have they got left in the bag here down to the last fence? Will not again be far away. Carlos Rodolfo, boy, yeah, takes off early. Wow, brilliant. Evantus C said to Carlos again, look, I'm ready to take off here, whatever you think here. Took off, I think, a stride earlier than Carlos anticipated. And that would have been a horse decision. That has led to the quickest time. 1.01 seconds ahead, 35.06. Great round. Evan to see, took charge. And we have a home leader in Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo.
Colombia, John Perez aboard Aslan.
The new starter season campaigner for Colombia getting underway. World number 159, 48 years of age. John Perez, boom, gets started. Pan Americans in Guadalajara, which is not too far away from our base here in San Miguel. 2011, a decade or so ago, 17th position at those Pan Ams. Team bronze came as well with Colombia in the Central American and Caribbean Games 2006 in Bogota. And in his home nation of Colombia. John Perez also very well placed, 34th in the World Cup finals in Leipzig. The year Christian Alman triumphed in Germany with Talibé Z in 2011. He's had a brilliant 5-star winning streak. John Perez this year, 5-star Grand Prix. His first 5-star GP came in Coop-Expan, March of this year with his wonderful mare Gigi Carmen. One time penalty into the second phase is frustrating. Aslan ruining that mistake. The Colombian Belgian son of Otangelo, the 10-year-old, makes a good sharp turn into that wide vertical, and then very genuine big takeoff distance asked by the Colombian pilots down to that huge oxa. This horse confirmed yesterday, fairly fresh to 5-star levels, so looks like a very game performer. And that's a good round. A shame about that time penalty because not far down the time, only 1 1/3 seconds down on the leading time of Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo. Aslan has won for John Perez, boom for Colombia.
In the ring, riding for Mexico, Arturo Parada aboard Ashes and Snow.
The new starter. This man is bound for big things, I think, because he's 34 years of age and already world number 65, so climbing the world leaderboard very nicely. Arturo Parada Vallejo is on the course and makes a good job of the early combination. He had a very impressive championships at the Central American Games in Guatemala City, individual bronze and team silver. That was with Cornet's Dream in 2017. Also, it was produced by Yuri Mansour. And Ashes and Snow sadly falters out of the Banorte combination, and successive errors having gone well through the first phase. I love the positivity of Arturo Parada. Just gives this horse a lovely, decisive ride. Doesn't sort of give any moment of indecision to his horse. He's very clear on approach to fences, exactly what he wants to happen, and it does happen because of that crystal clear communication between horse and rider that Arturo instills into Ashes and Snow. Lovely round to watch. Okay, 2 down, but really decisive riding from the Mexican. 8 it is, 33.23 was his time. The next to come, a veteran of 2 World Championships, the World Equestrian Games as they were. And that was the last of a run of 8 World Games that started in Stockholm back in 1990. all the way through to Tryon in 2018. 94 was The Hague. Had a brilliant run through. 02, we've got the world champion in 02 here. That was in Jerez. 06 in Aachen, that was my World Games debut commentating for the eventing. To call Zara Phillips home to the individual gold was special as a British commentator for a British world champion. Then Kentucky, 2010, and Caen in 2014 in Normandy before Tryon. And it was The Hague in 94 and 98, I think. I'm just having a little lapse of memory where the 98 games were. I have to just look that up a moment. Cabba Blue, one down for Patricio Pascal, who was also in Herning last year with Babel, same horse he rode in Tryon. At the Eco FEI Worlds with the disbanding of the components of equestrianism into eventing and carriage driving in Pratoni in Italy, near Rome. And all the other disciplines up at Herning. I did the vaulting there, was exciting in the boxing arena. Very, very cool. Cabba Blue comes down towards the end of this Frank Rothenberger course. This is this shallow serpentine I referred to earlier. Left side, cutting metres out of the track of the German star designer. Yeah, the last goes found a deep takeoff point. And yes, it is 8 penalties, 38.67 for Cabba Blue and Patricio Pascal.
8 faults in 38.67 for Mexican rider Patricio Pascal aboard Cabba Blue. En la pista número 17 representa a Estados Unidos Lucas Porter, que monta Viga Cata. In the ring, riding for the USA, Lucas Porter aboard Viga Cata.
Yes, I was just arriving at the probability that 98 was in Rome. I just confirmed that, yeah, the games were in Rome in 98. But now this young gun, Lucas Porter, is away. The Sleepy Pea Ranch, his lovely base. And both Lucas and his brother Wilson have trained extensively with Jerome Doubledown, still the only rider in World Show Jumping history to have held Olympic, World and European individual titles. Zenith, his one-of horse, Jerome, Sydney Olympic title back many moons ago in 2000. Lucas Porter is off to a very nice start, albeit the one mistake. This horse looked good yesterday, lovely calm temperament. Is pricked attentively forward, waiting for Lucas's minute instructions, whatever that should be. Lucas Porter has just turned 26, start of September. So again, long career lies awaiting, no doubts. Viga Carter, though, takes objection to the Otomi Open Water. I did refer to that earlier. Now, very serious. I don't mind the slap on the hindquarters, but the slap on the neck isn't really sporting. That's not something that I would like to see ideally in terms of horsemanship. Lucas Porter, though, I'm afraid, is going to be eliminated. Viga Carter takes strong objection to the open water. Whether that is a new problem, whether the horse has got a bit of a water history and Lucas was chancing his arm, we don't know. But I'm afraid the American Challenge unstuck at the open water late on. And Lucas Porter has got to be in his bonnet, I'm afraid, as he leaves the arena here in San Miguel de Allende with a disappointing round from his horse, who went very well yesterday, but without the open water. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a very good round from Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo that leads for the home nation. Mexico looking for their first five-star win of the 2 days here in San Miguel. This historic city has won many World Tourism Awards as being a destination that you should attend. And this man has been on some world tours over the last few weeks. He was here in Coapaxpan 3 weeks ago, and then I was alongside Gregory in Beijing, the wonderful Longines Equestrian Beijing Masters last week in the Bird's Nest Stadium. That certainly was a unique, exciting commentary experience. Gregory was there and then travelled back to Mexico to continue, and this horse looked immaculate yesterday for the double Olympian. Ace of Hearts is on course for Gregory Wathelet. He won the individual silver back in the Europeans in 2015 in Aachen. That was with H.H. Conrad. And he took the Rolex Grand Prix, his famous Grey Corrie, in 2017. Again, that would have been a Frank Rothenberger track for one of the majors in World Show Jumping, the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen back in 2017. No more illustrious prize to win. It's the Wimbledon of equestrianism, beyond doubt. Ace of Hearts is just being hacked around by Gregory, and I think this pair will line up tomorrow for the huge 5-star Grand Prix with its 5 million Mexican pesos, the prize purse, €250,000. And I think this pair, if they do start tomorrow, could be contenders, though we very much wait to see whether Stefano Balube will be starting. I anticipate very much so with Richard Vogel, and I think that pair undisputably would be the out-and-out favourites. But watch out for the Belgian. He has one down and will be a little reminder to Ace of Hearts. Will just alert his careful, sensitive brain to be a little bit quicker with his front feet tomorrow, should he come out for the big class.
In the ring, riding for the United States of America, Bliss here, support Goodbye.
This pair had their wake-up call yesterday. They had one fence down, but otherwise looked very impressive. Goodbye looks like a swift horse for Bliss Hears as well. The US combination starting at number 19. We're just up over halfway in this TV4 5-star of day 2. First week of the Mexico Full Tour. The Club Hípico Otomi here in San Miguel de Allende. The one number 235 Bliss Hears sets off, makes a positive start. It was very positive all the way around yesterday as well. Again, it's a lovely decisive combination. Goodbye was in Coapexpan 2 weeks ago. Again, 5 stars there. 8th in the meter 45 class. This pair jumps very well here, back in late April of this year as well. 4th place in a 5-star. You just get a feeling from this Dutch mare that she could really burn some rubber. Bliss Hears wanted to go foot to the boards. She's clever as well. You could just see there the vertical, just improvising. And again, very nimble, agile footwork right in the takeoff zone, which is a very useful tool to have as a rider. Not every horse has it. That 5th leg, that magic 5th leg. Great round it is for Bliss Hears. She's going to be just over the time, but Goodbye was very good and unlucky yesterday to have the one down. It is a compensatory great clear round, 36.41. And 1 1/3 seconds down in behind Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo, our Mexican leader, 35.06 still. Set the standard.
In the ring, riding for Ireland, German man on the board, Anthony Mann.
Well, that is not Dermot Lennon. I'm absolutely certain it is Richard Vogel on Gerbon Blue, yesterday's double 5-star winner. So whether there's going to be a little change in order here, we will just wait a moment and see. Clearly Richard has realised he's been misidentified But what a day yesterday. 2 5-star wins. He's asking who should start first. But again, you can just see an insight into a wonderful horseman's mindset. Very relaxed prior to competing. You've got to be. And it looks like Richard will give way to the next combination. This, though, is Dermot Lennon. And this is the lovely Chestnut, Anthem in My Heart, the 9-year-old Chestnut for the world champion of 2002. Referred to him a little bit earlier. 54-year-old Dermot Lennon is on course. Liscalco was his world champion in Spain 2 decades ago now, remarkably. 2 World Cup finals for Dermot as well. 's-Hertogenbosch in the Netherlands 2012, but a very good finish at his other World Cup final in Geneva 2010. 2 years prior, that was with Hallmark Elite for 4th place at the wonderful Geneva Horse Show. Will be my stop in December to the mighty amphitheatre, the Plexpo. 2 Europeans as well. Arnhem in 2001 was a team gold with Ireland. Again, that was with Liscalco, 6th individually. It was Ludger Beerbaum who won the European title that year in 01 with Gladys S. Dermot Lennon just again showing this lovely chestnut mare the way around the course. No time pressure. She's too young to rush. Just wants to produce her carefully. But then a little flash of speed from the Irishman down to the water. Gallops on confidently, rattles on down to that big open water that was the downfall sadly of Lucas Porter a few moments ago. Wow, that was very quick through the second phase. What a shame for the time faults in the first phase. I'm assuming Dermot Lennon was not aware of that, otherwise he wouldn't have probably gone so quickly in the second phase. 1 2/3 of a second quicker than our current leader, but 3 time in the first phase denies the former world champion top spot on our podium. But now, this man, Richard Vogel, some cool cat from Frankfurt, and he's had 5 wins now in the 2 weeks here in Mexico. A double winner, 5-star wins both yesterday, both of the 5-star classes. Gerbon Blue won the opening 5-star competition yesterday, based initially with Bernd Herbert in Germany, then to Ludger Beerbaum. 2.5 years at the mighty Riesenbeck stable, where so many have learnt their trade. Henrik von Eckermann, a long time with Ludger, the world #1 now for some 15 months. Philip Weishaupt with his new wonderful Zinedine from the Europeans with the medal individually. And Christian Kukuk, the other big talents at Ludger's. Gerbon Blue will not be sadly adding a 3rd win to the hugely impressive CV of Richard Vogel, with 1 down, but bear in mind this very nice grey is young for the world #16, at just 9 years of age, the Dutch stallion. And the last fence goes as well. Just a slightly novice-y mistake down over the last fence. It's going to be 8 penalties, the final score for Richard Vogel and Gerbon Blue, 40.09. Academic the time with a couple of mistakes. Yesterday's double 5-star champion.
In the ring riding from Mexico, Carlota Leschanina for LB Quilter.
This 12-year-old looked very good yesterday, and we welcome back Mexico's Carlotta Lechevin de Prévoisin Diener is on course. This the Argentinian 12-year-old LV Quilter. It's an out-and-out galloper and jumper. This little bay. He's got a sort of fearless approach. One of those independent-looking horses, head high, as if to say, I very much know my job here. Let me just get on with it. Give me a free rein. It's always exciting to watch the independent-minded horses, and the great ones are. Mind immediately goes to the likes of Murphy himself, Ian Stark's wonderful Galloping Grey, the Flying Scot. British team eventing horse for many, many moons, Murphy. One of the great hot-headed characters of the eventing annals. But another one to have a time penalty, as Dermot Lennon had 3 in the first phase. And this exciting LV Quilter has 1 time, which is really annoying for Carlotta, because this 12-year-old can certainly fly. And look at the sheer jumping ability. Head high, unorthodox, no real bascule to talk of, but just has got bucket loads of talent here again. But no, LV Quilter, I'm afraid, like Lucas Porter's Vigor Carter, does not want to have any of the Grand Prix Otomi open water. First refusal for the home combination. I tell you what, there's no harder thing. Once your horse has refused an open water, to come back and expect to jump it a second time is, well, not virtually impossible, but certainly your chances of success are tiny to represent and jump an open water in the ring. I once used to ride a 4-year-old warm blood who was a wonderful show jumper. He was called Airborne Scally. He went up to Grade A in England, but he would not jump water. He would not go in it. You could coax him, you could smack him, you could do whatever you liked. You could be nice, you could try and be firm, but nothing worked. We went out drag hunting. We had a wonderful day jumping hedges in the heart of England, and we were out for a couple of hours, and then came this big water puddle. I thought, oh, finally he'll go through it. No. And we built a real connection by that point. And again, it's incredible when the horse really does not want, you can do nothing. That's why the animal activists have really got no real argument, because half a ton of horse, if he says no, he says no, and we are well aware of that as horse people. Jaime Escaraga is on course for Mexico. Bailey's Von Illum is the new starter, 10-year-old stallion. This one actually Swiss bred. CH is the abbreviation for Swiss horses on our breeding information list, which is so wonderfully provided. Jaime is very good through the first phase, and unlike some of recent times, is inside time. So can chance his arm. 35.06 of Iavanta C. Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo, his Mexican colleague, leads the way. And this is a fiery round here from Jaime Escaraga. That wonderfully multicoloured avian-themed blue vertical is, I'm afraid, the downfall of the home pair. Because, yeah, the time was very good. Just outside the time. Only a third of a second down on the leading time, but that blue vertical, the avian-themed fence, I'm afraid, is the downfall for Jaime Escaraga. Good round, though, from Bailey's Von Illum. Second ride for this multi-talented Argentinian, Fabien Sejan, back for more. He also competes in pure dressage at a high level. Damon Valley's his dressage horse. Intermediate and Prix Saint-Georges international competitions. And Fabien won the 2-star Grand Prix here in San Miguel de Allende last year with Tamuin LS. Temple is on the course. 12-year-old son of Tecolote LS, bred here in Mexico, out of Sorpresa La Silla. The dam sire, the famous Staccato. Fabien Sejan sets sail, and as you've got to come home inside time in this first phase of Frank Rothenberger's, you've got to put your foot down enough. You can't just treat this as a easy hack round and expect to be without time penalties, as we're seeing is becoming a recurrent theme. Fabien comes now down to the crossover into the second phase, straight into the teeth of the second phase, comes early. The Banorte double is given real airtime again from Temple. Another horse with a wonderful disposition. Got a great mix, this horse, of calmness but also eagerness to get on with the job. Brilliant as a rider to have a calm horse, but also one that is as equally hungry as you are, no doubt, to be competing. And Fabien Sejan is going to be well over the time, but it's been really good to watch this pair operating. And yeah, day one of the Pan Americans in Santiago, Chile. We have to wait a little bit for the start of the equestrian events, but it'll be fascinating to see the likes of Jose Maria La Roca, the Argentinian who won the individual silver in behind Marlon Modolo Zanotelli last time in Lima, Peru back in 2019. See whether the likes of Jose Maria can go better. There's going to be some showdown in Chile for the show jumping along with the other equestrian disciplines.
In the ring, riding for the USA, Ashley Vogel aboard Namaste.
Now this young lady, she's still in her early 20s, and she was at the North American Young Rider Champs at Traverse City in Michigan 2 years ago. In 2021 she won the team gold with her team, 15th individually. And this the lady who was given a surprise present by her mother at 8 years of age, a birthday present to go to a local stable to have some riding lessons, and that set the whole chain in motion. Namaste Van Het Eikeveld is on course. This the son of Elvis de Putter out of the Belgian Warmblood stud book. Namaste down to the GMP Seguron combination. Triple bar in, vertical out, not easy early because of that scope components, the big triple bar, then the accuracy required altogether, kind of different question for the horses. At 4AB, early trap from Frank. Namaste deep into the Banorte combination shows just his careful mind to come out over that ox from right at the coal face of its takeoff. Ashley Vogel sitting on a powerhouse here, the young American. Out over that wonderfully decorated dark blue vertical. I must say the fence design here so eye-catching, wonderful to look at. It's a real visual paradise here for equine and humans, and that's a very nice round. 37.9, clear rounds few and far between. Ashley Vogel comes home with a very nice double clear. So still they chase 35.06, and the home nation eyeing up victory, getting a little bit excited. Evantus C took off a stride early to that last fence, and that was good enough for a second advantage over the round that had just preceded them to take over the lead from Argentina's Jeronimo Jimenez Herrera. And now Jeronimo is back to try and flip the tables on his Mexican competitor. Jeronimo returns with Chalawino PS. It is number 27. We're into the last 8 of this TV4 5-star day 2 of the Mexico Full Tour. Chalawino makes a, well, good start, but just flattened a little bit before the apex required out over that big white and green ox. But this the special 2-phase format, so they can, the combinations, proceed into the second phase whatever fate has befallen them in the first phase, unlike the traditional 2-phase where the bell would be rung to signal your exit if you've had a jump or a time penalty in the first phase, in the normal 2 phase, not the special. Chalawino PS, the 11-year-old Oldenburger, son of Chaco Blue, cross the Levito, comes down to the last fence and just one down that, the vertical at the end of the first phase for Jeronimo Jimenez. Herrera coming home for Argentina.
4 faults in 41-13 for Jeronimo Jimenez and Chalawino PS. En la pista número 28 representa a Estados Unidos Verónica Tracy, que monta Dakota. In the ring, riding for the USA, Verónica Tracy aboard Dakota.
This pair really caught my eye yesterday. They did have one down in the 5-star, but boy oh boy, they are wonderfully harmonious as a combination. On course for the USA, Veronica Tracy. This is Self-Francais, lovely little pocket rocket chestnut. Dakota Lardre setting off. The Self-Francais horse is close to my heart as an eventing man, formerly world champion. 2014 was Opgun Louvo Self-Francais for Sandra Offart. And then reigning world champion Yasmin Ingham's Banzai de Loire in eventing. World champion last year in Protoni. Both chestnuts, both Self-Francais of origin. Little lucky rattle for Dakota de Lardre, but all standing for Veronica Tracy. Arlon du Barry cross to Alain de la Cour. Their first blemish into the Banorte combination. This pair, though, actually are at their very first 5-star competition. They've made a... No, that's actually not quite right. It's the first 5-star for Veronica Tracy with this horse, but in fact, Richard Vogel had the ride on this horse prior to the American, and Richard had jumped Dakota at 5-star level before the acquisition into the American leadership of Veronica Tracy. Well, they still look for their elusive double clue round. It's one down, sadly, for Dakota, and Veronica Tracy, 36.57 is the American time. Second ride for John Perez Bohm, back for more with this lovely Desperado DN, late start for Colombia. Seasoned man, world number 159, so at 48 years of age, certainly seen a lot of world show jumping. John Perez sees a forward shot into the triple bar. That's the danger. If you get too forward and free into that triple bar, the vertical could be your nemesis. But equally, trying to jump in a little bit cautiously. Find a deep spot to triple bar would not inspire you with confidence necessarily either. So that is the double-edged sword that Frank Rothenberger flashes at our riders early doors, and that is the added difficulty that the combination does come so early before you've really necessarily got into your flow and your rhythm. And I think John Perez Bohm, has had a slightly awkward ride, so he decides to put his hand up and retire. Late starter for Colombia. I'm afraid Desperado TN has a bit of a rocky ride out there. John Perez Bohm out of the TV4 price.
In the ring, riding for Germany, Rupert Winkelmann aboard Oman.
The next to come, this man having a very good autumn here in Mexico. He won the 2-star prize in Co-op X-Span over 1m40 last week with Quinn. Rupert Karl Winkelmann it is for Germany. Again, promising young enough rider at 30, world number 369, so moving up nicely in the world rankings that are not easy to proceed in, such as the competition. And of course, always hard with those world rankings. You've got to have the horsepower. You can be mega talented, but be short of horses and you will tread water or slip backwards. Given the available horsepower of some of, or many of the riders, it's quite a dazzling string that many of the riders now assemble in World Show Jumping. Omar van der Hunters is away and has made a good start here for Rupert Karl as Germany try and continue their clean sweep of the 5-star victories. This is their last chance to secure clear round, or a clear round and a potential third victory. And Omar van der Hunters is pretty quickly out of the Banorte combination. 35.06 still is the leading time of Evan C. And again, I love this horse technique. He's very sharp with his undercarriage. His front legs whip out of the way, tuck up under his jaw. He's going to go the less popular route on the right-hand side. We'll add some meters. Gets quite deep to the last bench. Just had to put the handbrake on a little bit on approach, but it's a very nice double clear. A couple of seconds down on the leading time for Mexico, but late 4 penalties comes up. Apologies for that. Didn't catch sight of it and we were a bit slow to update our screen. 4 penalties it was for Omar van der Hunters, and Germany's last chance, so we'll have another nation outside of Germany claiming this third 5-star of this opening week of the Mexico Fall Tour. But now the man who delivered the first clear round, Nicholas Pizarro, that was who, with his lovely grey Mentor back. Jacko's Airman PS is our new starter. 9-year-old son again of Chaco Blue. Chaco Blue, who blossoms so many world-class show jumpers. And of course, no less than the Olympic champion from Tokyo, Ben Mayer's Explosion W, the most famous son of Chaco Blue. But there are numerous of them. Nicholas Pizarro. I hadn't seen him until the summer of this year, where he jumped into Team Silver, Stefex Masters Nations Cup with Mexico, and I watched, mega impressed. He was a London Olympian in 2012, so his career's been distinguished, but I hadn't caught eye of him, but what a talent. Nicholas Pizarro will not be challenging, I don't think, the time. But it's a very good round he's putting together here. Good gallop down to the last fence as well. Oh no, absolutely Holloway, wrong. Wow, flew down to the last fence. And Nicholas Pizarro, I underestimated the turn of foot down to that vertical. Made up a real good chunk of time there. And Mexico cement their lead in this TV4 prize. It's a Mexican 1-2, 34.94. Nicholas Pizarro takes the lead, and we only have 3 more to jump. What a super round that was. Just hot-footed it away from the water down to the vertical. It was a theme yesterday as well, because Richard Vogel was nearly toppled by the combination that was second. It was 0.2 only, the deficit. And the gallop down to the last fence again was so quick. Three more to come, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more for the USA, and then 2 for the home nation. So the Americas certainly are winning this TV4 prize. Which of the USA and Mexico will take the title? Milo Cornet is away. Misty Cassars in the saddle. Oldenburg, son of the superb Montenda, who was Marco Kutscher's championship ride for the German team in moon's gone by. My Lord Cornet turns down to this beefy early combination. Frank Rothenberger, Philip Schwedner. Looks hungry to get on with the business, My Lord Cornet, but just runs down into a deep enough spot into the vertical, and I'm afraid two verticals go in quick succession for the American challengers. And damn sire is Cornet Zablensky, which is where his jump talent, of course, comes with two huge talents on either side. If you haven't read the story of Cornet Zablensky, do look him up, because it's fascinating to read quite what a handful he was as a young stallion. I think it was his very first competition. Cornet Zablensky threw the rider off. I think it was Mark Ecuestre actually as well, but I would just like to check that detail. But tossed the rider off and then went backwards a long way, went through a fence, galloped away from the showground. It was a total circus. But like so many of the talented horses, humans as well, not easy always to harness their abilities, certainly in the early days. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come into our last couple, and the home victory is secure. So delighted for Mexico. They will have a 5-star win here in San Miguel to the mariachi music. We'll be certainly playing later this afternoon to celebrate the home win. 35.06 it is. Second ride now for Artur Parada Vallejo getting underway. This is Bordeaux on course, penultimate to start. 11-year-old gelding, son of Centadel, cross to Contefino. Another horse with abundant scope. As this 34-year-old sets up for the double, and boy oh boy, Bordeaux explosive through the early combination. He's having quite a job, Arturo, and just sitting still in the saddle on landing because of the sheer explosiveness of this grey. Boy oh boy. It's a proper airplane, this horse. This horse won 2 classes at Guadalajara late September, including the 2-star Grand Prix. The son of Centadel is going to hack down to the open water. Arturo Parada looks like he's going to run this time pretty close. And yes, it is ahead. Could just see the determination approaching the open water from Arturo, as if to say, I think I've got a chance here of a 5-star win. And then great gallop down to the last fence. Given this horse's air time to be that quick when the horse is so scopy, spending a lot of time in the air, is a really impressive time. 34.81. Mexico dominant in this class, and the lovely grey Bordeaux is our top dog with one more to come. The last to set sail in the TV4 World Ranking Class 5-star. Our lone 5-star class on day 2. First of our weeks here for the Mexico Full Tour at San Miguel de Allende. First of 2 superb weeks here put on by the Club Hípico Otomi. Thank you very much to our wonderful hosts in the heart of Mexico. Patricio Pascal will anchor the 5-star, 34th and last combination. Patricio Alicia Santa Rosa out over that beautiful cathedral-themed vertical, reflecting the beautiful architecture of our historic city, San Miguel de Allende. If you haven't seen the pictures, do put it into Google Images and just enjoy the incredible skyline that we have alongside this beautiful equestrian facility. Now, Patricio Pascal has cut up some real ground in towards that combination. He's determined here. This is quick. I would think right on target. This horse is economical as well, unlike the big grey Bordeaux we just saw. Not the air time. So watch out here. This pair are going to gallop into the lead, I think. Big jump at the final fence. No, what a shame. Look at the time. Soared out over the water. Not quite the stride they wanted down to the last fence. The time was brilliantly quick. What a shame. Very good effort from Patricio Pascal. Their round was nigh on perfect until the last fence. Just getting way too deep. No chance from there, sadly. And 4 penalties is a very frustrating near miss for Patricio Pascal. The home win, though, ladies and gentlemen, is secured. And congratulations. He's a man with a big future as well. It's a tale of the young guns this week so far. Richard Fogel, 26 years of age, won both the 5 stars yesterday. And the 34-year-old for the home nation, Mexico's Arturo Parada Vallejo, wins the TV4 5-star today here in San Miguel de Allende. Okay, I'm left very confused by the graphic. There was one time penalty. I apologise if that came up on the screen. I did not see it in the first phase. The time was quicker. But one time in the first phase, Bordeaux denied the win for Arturo Parada. That is devastating. So, apologies for that misinformation. It is Nicolas Pizarro who wins 2 rides in Chaco's SM and will lift the TV4 5-star. 34.94. The victory is 1200th of a second. It goes very much to the line. Evantus C was brilliant. He improvised. He took off a stride early. Down to the last fence for Carlos Rodolfo Molina. And they are our reserve champions. And Argentina will come onto the podium behind the pair for Mexico, Jerónimo Jiménez Herrera and Comtes, 36.07. You've got to feel for Arturo Parada with his win just snatched out of his hands with that one-time penalty, as did some seasoned campaigners, the likes of John Perez Bomb and Dermot Lennon, falling foul of the first phase on the clock. The prize giving, ladies and gentlemen, will come up in just a few moments' time.
Quinto lugar para México, Nicolás Pizarro, esta vez con mentor, 0.36.92. Estos 5 binomios, por favor, en la pista para la premiación. Sexto lugar para Argentina, Fabián Sejanes, que montó Temple, 0.37.50. Séptimo lugar para Estados Unidos, Ashley Vogel, que montó Namaste, 0.37.90. Octavo lugar para México, Arturo Parada, que montó Bordeaux.
Well, just while we await for the prize giving, just to remind you, tomorrow the scheduled start time of the Grand Prix here, 5-star Grand Prix of San Miguel de Allende. It will be 8 p.m. here, local time, tomorrow evening. That is the scheduled time. 5 million Mexican pesos is the prize purse. It's going to be brilliant. €250,000 is the equivalent. And certainly I have not seen the start list yet, but I would well imagine Sapani Balobé will be on it for Richard Fogel. They've had a number of 5-star wins, that pair this year in Aachen, the Alliance Prize. They won a big Grand Prix down in Wellington back in March this year, another 5-star Grand Prix, and I think they will be hot favourites should they start. I'm sure they will tomorrow. And Richard Fogel will be looking for win number 3. Came unstuck, the great German, won number 16 with the one down today. But I'm happy for the home nation that they have secured their victory. But our battle for sure will be spectacular for the big Grand Prix tomorrow. Do join us at 8 p.m. local time here in San Miguel de Allende. So delighted to welcome you back, everybody, to this TV4 1m45 5-star prize giving day 2's 5-star. Welcome to the awards ceremony. Well done to our champions.
Vamos a proceder a la ceremonia de premiación de esta Libre 150. En quinto lugar el día de hoy, esta prueba patrocinada por TV4 de México, Nicolás Pizarro Suárez de Motoa Mentor. Fourth place to the United States of America. Please hear support. Goodbye. El cuarto lugar se lo lleva.
Well, delighted for Bliss is because Goodbye looked good yesterday, had one fence down, but the Americans come good in the TV4 prize. Fourth place for Superb Goodbye for the USA.
En tercer lugar de Argentina, Jerónimo Jiménez que montó a Contest 202. Y le vamos a pedir al caballerano de Contest 202 se acerque para que nos ayude y Jerónimo se desmonte y pase al podio de ganadores. Segundo lugar para México, Carlos Rodolfo Molina que montó a Diamantusen. Y le voy a pedir al caballero de Avantus se acerque, por favor. Y el ganador de esta prueba, esta abierta 1.50 de CSI 5 estrellas de México, Nicolás Pizarro Suárez que montó a Chaco Airman PS.
But there's your champion. Delighted to welcome forward Nicholas Pizarro. He's had a very good few days with us here, and Chaco SM and PS. He's the champion, 34.94, the TVP prize. TV4 prize goes to Nicholas Pizarro and Chaco SM and PS with a very good round. Of course, our thoughts go out to Arturo Parada Vallejo and Bordeaux. They had that one-time penalty quicker time, but that first phase catching out the young talented Mexican late in the TV4 5-star here. Day 2 of San Miguel de Allende's first week of the Mexico Full Tour. Well, Nicholas Pizarro is having a very good few days because Mentor has looked very good both days, and Chaco SM and PS is our third 5-star champion. Finally, Germany's Richard Vogel is toppled at the top of a leaderboard after Richard's impressive double of 5-star wins yesterday. I'm assuming that is Nicholas Pizarro's son who comes up to congratulate Dad on a very good 5-star win here at home, and we stand for the national anthem. So the big guns in world show jumping are certainly bearing their teeth over the opening 2 days sit in San Miguel. The world number 16 winning 2 classes yesterday, Richard Fogel. And today, the home hero number 35 in the world rankings. And London Olympian crossing Jordan in Greenwich Park back in 2012. Nicholas Pizarro claims the TV4 5-star for the home nation. And there will, of course, be some bubbles to celebrate the home 1-2. And the other fact that certainly should be mentioned is that Chaco's SM and PS is only 9 years of age. So it's another 9-year-old who wins a 5-star here in Mexico, because Sepano Balube also 9, a great win last night for Richard. The Visa GP. They won the Mexico City 2-star Grand Prix, Nicholas and Eamon this spring. And their 5-star mileage is fairly limited. Kirpexpan this March was their step up to the big time. Stockholm City followed in Sweden in mid-June, then Dublin, Brussels and Kirpexpan have been their 5-star spins thus far. So gaining mileage, and that's a very good maiden 5-star win for a 9-year-old that we congratulate Nicholas Pizarro for with Chaco, SM and PS. Well, the club Ipico Otomi have been our wonderful hosts here over the first 2 days, and the home nation can celebrate the opening Mexican victory. Germany toppled finally here in San Miguel de Allende on day 2 of the Mexico Full Tour. Well done to Nicholas Pizarro. He wins another young horse at 9 strikes. A 5-star maiden 5-star victory for Chaco, SM and PS, and the London Olympian Nicholas Pizarro lifts the 3rd 5-star of our competitions here at San Miguel de Allende. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure bringing you the 3rd 5-star class today on day 2. Do come back tomorrow, because it is the big one. It is the Gran Premio. It will be a 1.60 m course of severity, of real, no doubt, dimensions. Frank Rothenberger is going to build a tough course. You can bet your bottom dollar. That will start at 8 p.m. tomorrow, local time here in San Miguel de Allende. Until then, we do hope you'll join us. From myself, Ed Holloway, the entire team here in Mexico, thank you for your company, and we will see you tomorrow night for a big showdown here in Mexico. Until then, goodbye.
We have a